So in today's video, we are going to talk about this really cool new Osmo competitor, the Feiyu Pocket. Very interesting camera. As you can tell, the case and the camera itself looks very similar to the Osmo Pocket. However, there are some differences, and we'll go over that more after this. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Geoff Fagien. I'm a filmmaker and director of photography based in South Florida. And in today's video, we're going to talk about this cool new little camera, the Feiyu Pocket, which is a, I guess you can call it a DJI Osmo clone. And if you're not new to this channel, you know that I've done a few videos on the Fimi Palm. And although that was a really cool camera, it had some very big limitations, such as the 4K 60 not being available. You can only do 4K 24 and 30. A strength of it was it had a very wide angle lens compared to the Osmo. The image was just not nearly as good as the Osmo coming out of the Fimi Palm, and the pictures were really bad as well. So when it comes to the Feiyu Pocket, the bitrate is a little bit higher than the Osmo Pocket, which is good. In 4K 24, you can see that the image is pretty decent. I wouldn't say it's exactly the same as the Osmo, but it's pretty nice. The field of view is a little bit more narrow than the Osmo. Also does 4K 60. Now, a few differences. Got the Osmo and the Feiyu Pocket right here. Cool thing the Feiyu Pocket has, it has a very strategically placed 1/4-inch thread on the bottom, so you can mount it to a tripod or whatever you'd like to mount that uses the 1/4-inch thread, and it's not in an awkward position. On the Fimi Palm, you actually could only mount it right here for its 1/4-inch, so you always had to mount it laying down. So it's nice to have it like this, as you get more range of motion out of the gimbal when you do that. Off the bat, I could tell you that with the Feiyu, the picture quality as far as still images doesn't really come close to the Osmo. The still images aren't really that great coming out of this in both the still image mode and the panoramic mode. I would say that the regular still images that you take with it are better quality than the panoramic mode, but still not the best. So if you're going to get the Feiyu Pocket, I would really only get it with having video in mind. Now, when I use these cameras, I don't really use them for filmmaking purposes. What I do really like doing is using these as really strong BTS cameras, because especially in this post-COVID world where we're now in this new normal and we don't know when things are going to get back to maybe what was normal or what's going to be, having these are almost more important now, because they're really small, they're really easy to use, especially with the Feiyu Pocket and the Osmo Pocket. The video quality is pretty decent, so you can hand this off to a producer or, you know, someone on set and get some really cool BTS. Because my saying with BTS was having somebody dedicated to BTS back in the day with maybe using like an A7S or a GH5, those days I think are pretty much gone. That was a luxury that we were able to have. But, you know, right now, the least amount of people you have on set, the better. And so if you can hand off one of these to a producers like I did for that Star Trek fan film, and you can get really good BTS footage in a very low footprint, these are great. And I'm happy that the image quality is pretty decent off of this. Low light, that's a different story. Neither of these cameras are really good in low light. I'm just going to put that out there. If you buy this camera, don't expect it to do wonders in low light. But I will tell you that indoors, the Osmo Pocket will work a little bit better than the Feiyu. So right here we have both the Osmo Pocket and the Feiyu in the studio. I'm being lit by my softbox, and you can see the differences when being filmed indoors but under proper lighting conditions. Now, even though this is indoors, this is definitely not low light, so this is just to give you guys an example of how it looks with proper lighting indoors. However, indoors without proper lighting, the Osmo will win, but it's not going to win by much. It's just marginally better. And you can see that if you look at my Star Trek fan film footage, where I use the Osmo for a lot of the behind-the-scenes footage. The footage is okay. You can totally get what's going on, but you wouldn't want to film a movie with it. For BTS footage, it's okay. The Feiyu Pocket does have built-in Wi-Fi like the Fimi Palm had, so that's another really cool advantage over the Osmo Pocket. However, the UI when using the Feiyu is not nearly as nice as the Osmo Pocket. It is a little bit nicer than the Fimi Palm. So I would say overall, this is a better buy than the Fimi Palm. The video quality is better. You get more features out of it, especially the 4K 60. But again, I would only buy this if you're planning on using it for video purposes. If you're trying to take stills and video and you want a gimbal camera, I would still go for the Osmo Pocket. The only thing I have not been able to try on the Feiyu Tech is using the USB-C to headphone jack to do external microphones. I tried using the adapter I had and it didn't work. As many of you know, the Osmo Pocket, you pretty much need to use the USB-C to 3.5 millimeter adapter they made. There are some third-party options now. They weren't so easily available when the camera was first released, but they are easier to find now. I don't know 100% what works on this, so do be aware if you're planning on using 3.5 millimeter microphones. I don't know what you can buy out there that's going to work. Again, my generic one doesn't work. My Osmo one doesn't work, so just be aware of that. If you're going to do 3.5 millimeter microphones, the Osmo is still probably the way to go. Really good camera for the money. It has some features that beat the Osmo. It's definitely a better buy than the Fimi Palm. However, like those trade-offs that I mentioned, you're going to have to weigh out what you want out of a camera like this. And if you're really just looking for video, I would say go with the Feiyu. If you're looking for something that's a little bit all around, then I would say still go with the Osmo. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments below. And if you guys got value out of this video, please smash that like, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Until next time, my name's Geoff Fagien. I'll see you guys in the next video.